Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. It's Friday. Am I live? I do believe I'm live. Yes, I am. I am live. Give folks some time to trickle in. I gotta upload this ATLS GEO video anyway. Uploading while live streaming? Oh, wow. That's crazy, dude. What are you doing? What's up, Matthew Ward? I am uploading the ATLS GEO video as we speak. And that will be coming, it should be done before I'm actually done streaming. How's everybody doing? It's Friday night. There shouldn't be a whole lot of people joining us for the stream, but we owe the stream anyway. Make sure you get those questions in. Make sure you like our video. Dual stream if you can on both YouTube and Twitch. Qualify for both of those prizes. All right, the ATLS GEO. So, Pirate Swarm tonight. No, not tonight. Not tonight. Because I had to do a lot of work stuff. So that means definitely tomorrow night. So I'm thinking tomorrow night. Let's see. It'll be somewhere between 6 and 8. I have to see if I can get some transportation for tomorrow. Let's see. No, it would be. No, it would probably be after 8. So let's say 9 o'clock tomorrow. 9 o'clock tomorrow is safe. If I can do it before 9 o'clock, then I'll let you know. But that is a safe time. What's up, Scorched Cheddar? Monday night works as well too. So if for some crazy reason I can't do Saturday, then we'll try to do Monday. But I should be able to do Monday, or should be able to do Saturday. And if for some crazy reason I can hop on tonight, I'll definitely let folks know. If you're just joining, we're about to upload the ATLS GEO review. So make sure you check that out. You can check that out after we're done streaming here. Wow. Took me a while to do this one. I didn't think it would take this long, but it definitely did. This one, I like this one though. This was pretty fun. I really liked the GEO. It was a fun video to make. But I am super ready to do like all these other videos that we talked about. I'm actually going to go through and make a list, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. What's up, Ristal Disarray? Because I don't want to forget any of the things that we talked about. I think these last, what was it, 3 lives? Yeah, we've come up with some really good ideas. Okay. Just making sure I can pop all of this stuff up. And we're streaming for 2 hours, but we probably can't release this video in 2 hours, so we're probably gonna have to release it like, let's say 8:30. 8:30? Yeah, that's good. You know what? We'll do members only for we'll do members only for a while. Nah, we'll just release it. We'll just release it. We got some other members only stuff coming, so we'll just release this one. Today at 8. Let's see. Let's do not 8:30 a.m. 8:30 p.m. It's gonna be weird. Yeah, no, it'll just release. Can't do it as a premiere because I'm live. That wouldn't make sense. People would be like, wait, which one? What's up, Manny? We are having a great day. I'm making my, let me quickly make my, what do you call it? My icon or thumbnail? Thumbnail, yeah. Gotta make a thumbnail. Make sure you pop those questions in. I'm giving you guys some time to pop those questions in while I'm doing some thumbnail stuff. I had a lot of fun with the GEO. A lot of fun with it. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, that was an easy one. That was an easy thumbnail. You guys will see it. Here, I'll give you all well, you'll see it. You'll see it. I'm going to use a picture that I don't normally use. Make sure you fill it up with questions. As soon as I'm done, I will hop on those questions. Let's see. Man, that thing, I didn't know it would be able to jump as high as it could. That thing, man, I just wasn't prepared. That thing can jump. I think it jumps like 50 feet, which is insane. There we go. Now we're cooking. Got our, okay, hold on. We can put, oop. I am like super getting the hang of this whole YouTube thing, I think, you know. It's only my second year being a YouTuber. It might seem like I've been doing it longer. And for some of you, it might seem like I just started today. But yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I've been doing it. Technically, the channel is like 3 years old, but I've only really been doing it for like, I'd say a year and a half. I think I really started December 2023. So yeah, this December will make 2 years. Yeah, I think I started like December 4th, 2023. Get those questions in. Make sure if you're lurking, you put, you leave at least 2 comments 4 minutes apart so that you qualify for our giveaway. Because if you don't comment, I don't know that you're lurking. And I want all of you to qualify. All right, Atlas Geo thumb. Let's just this one. All right. We should be good to go. Let me just pop this thumbnail in here. Where is it? Where would it be? There it is. And we're done with that part. I might have to push it back though because I forgot I am streaming, so it's probably gonna take longer to upload because I'm streaming. So we'll do 8:45. It's the weekend, it'll be all right. All right, what you got? Let's see. Blue 4 says, let's see. Question, is the Geo going to replace the rock or are you getting both? I already have a rock and I definitely bought a Geo. I don't know whether I will keep both. The idea so far is that I like the Geo as far as having fun, but I like the rock as far as like its ability to actually hold a lot of like what you mine. And of course, it's like a mining laser you can actually change out and do things with. It's more efficient. So it depends. I think how long, I'm going to keep the rock until they mention like what's next for mining. Like the next major patch that they're like, okay, on mining, we're going to do this next, or we're going to do that next. Or if they change the rock DS to actually make it usable. In that case, then I will definitely get rid of the rock. But right, for now, I'm keeping both until I get some good news. Because I do like the Geo, but it's like just shy of replacing the rock. It depends on what you need it for. I think it can replace the rock for a lot of people, but I think there's other people who are going to be like, nope, I prefer the rock. And I think there's going to be more in that second camp. With all the ship changes in the latest PTU patch, what has surprised you the most? Ooh, ooh, I can't really say. I haven't been playing in the latest patch. I haven't played. Are you talking about the PTU patch? Or if you're talking about 4.1.1, I haven't played it at all. I literally haven't played it, so I can't. I don't want to say anything on 4.1.1. The last patch that I played in PTU was 4.1, so I can't say anything about the most recent PTU patch. Who am I calling a lurker? Ave Sinistra? Am I calling you a lurker? I don't know. Seems like you're calling yourself a lurker. I feel like this, my gigantic jug here is gonna be like a thing moving forward. So like, I think it's gonna be like, oh, it's jug time. What is your favorite light fighter, and are you excited for the new Kruger light fighter? Favorite light fighter? As of 4.1, I would say it'd have to be the Avenger Titan, just because I can do so much with it. But moving forward, let's see. Let me look at light fighters. I haven't flown a lot of light fighters around recently because I've been mostly hanging out in my larger ships, and when I do take out a fighter, it's normally a medium or heavy fighter. So let me look here. If I'm flying, if I'm coming out of like a base, or if I'm coming out of a hangar, it's the Talon. Because I don't like trying to fit a Talon in anywhere to bring it with me. So if I'm flying out of a base, it would be the Talon. Outside of that, I don't know. I think I'd probably say the Arrow. Does that sound right? Yeah, that sounds right. I think the Arrow. But I don't know how long that's gonna last. Right, because right now I use the Avenger Titan, but technically that's not a light fighter. So, but yeah, I'd say it's either the Talon or the Arrow. If I could fit the Talon into more places, I would definitely fly the Talon around a lot more. But yeah, I'd have to say that. What's up, David Baldwin? If I flew the Hawk, that would give away my secret identity. Disarray. Yes, the CSV with 4 SCU crates full of geopods. Yes, that is exactly the way I think people should use that. That's a really good idea. I think the Titan is a light fighter as well. Ah, okay. So let me check this out. You said it's in the patch notes, so I didn't even notice that it was changing that much. I knew some things were changing, but um, I didn't know that much was changing. I didn't know that many like ships were changing. So let me check out the patch notes really quick and see what you're talking about. Let's see. Right, let's see. Where's the patch notes? Patch notes. Oh no, not the. It's got to go. I got to go to Dev Tracker and look at the patch notes. All right. So let me show you what I'm seeing. I mean, some of you probably already played this, but like, here we go. We can still show it to you and scroll in a little bit so everybody can see what's happening. All right. So I haven't read these yet. Let's see. All players have been given the Ion, Inferno, Retaliator, Eclipse, Harbinger, and Gladiator. Huh. That's cool. I think I have an Eclipse. I have a Harbinger. I have a Gladiator. The only two of these I don't have these three. Okay, ship battle missions V1, so that's patrol, ambush, Gilly's advanced combat gauntlet missions, handyman missions, hunt the Polaris mission, and UEE training mission. The Fleet Week events, new missions and halls, mission meshing, refactor, comm array, animal missions, multi-location courier PvP bounties, new collector rewards. Okay. All right. New missions. 890 jump at Reclaimer flight tuning to match new large ship goals. Okay, that's good. Retune the size 6 Polaris bespoke turret guns for greater damage. That is great. I can tell you I am 100% for that because I thought that size 6 was kind of weak. Yes, if we shall. Luca. Yes, whole lot of streams this week. I have to make up for a lot of downtime, so I was definitely not. I was definitely doing a whole lot of chilling at home, or like spending time with the family and stuff, making sure I don't get burned out. Yeah, I'm definitely down for the size 6 Polaris doing greater damage. Needed that. Rebalance for military components to make them better suited for combat purposes. Yes. Okay, so these are big. I'm glad you said something because I probably wouldn't have watched this stuff until or paid attention until the patch went live. Um, yeah, because I think I'm kind of joining into 4.1.1 a little too late. I actually thought it was going to go live to everyone today. I thought it was going to go live to everyone today, but it looks like it might be tomorrow or even next week. Um, but what else? What else? Yeah, military components. Cannot wait for that. That is cool. I definitely can't wait to check that out. That's the only one I see for here. Let's see what else we got. There might have been some more. No, I just see Vandal Interpreter stuff. Wave 4. EU players were locked out? Oh, that sucks. Wave 3. Wave 2. Flight tuning for RSI Polaris. Okay. Oh, nope, that one's gone. Then what else? What else? Looks like they also did. Nope, nothing on that one. looks like the Polaris is getting an upgrade, basically. And I am down for the Polaris getting an upgrade because I was really like starting to feel like I think the gap between the Polaris and the Idris is too high, like or too wide. Um, from what I understood, the Idris and the Polaris were like the Idris was supposed to be like a little bit higher, not like way higher. It was supposed to be like the Idris should beat the Polaris in a fight, but if the Polaris catches the Idris sleeping or, catches it slipping, then the Polaris should be able to handle that. Or obviously if it has a better crew. But the way those fights felt for me, they felt like the Idris had the overwhelming advantage. Like it wasn't even close. So, and that was a problem for me. They want to make Star Citizen immersive. They need to make you do a complete component layout of military grade ships and a PMCS every time you bring it up in the hangar and every Monday motor pool Monday. Oh, yeah, that was so fun. That is exactly what they can make it immersive or they can make it fun. They can't make it both. I hated the motor pool. I was like, I did not sign up to be a mechanic. What are the mechanics doing right now? Why am I at the vehicle doing the mechanic things? And then it was like, oh no, this isn't even close to mechanic stuff. This is just like stuff that everybody should be doing on their own vehicle. And I'm like, oh, because I didn't do that stuff on my vehicle. I didn't get my driver's license till really late. I was like, I think I was either 20 or 21 when I got my driver's license. So I know there were people that had their driver's license at 15 and a half or 16 years old, and I didn't get mine until I was like 21 or something like that. So I lived in a place where like catching the bus and like public transportation was the norm, it could get you pretty much everywhere. So I didn't really have the need to get my driver's license as quickly. Oh, it's in the Invictus patch. Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought we were going to get 4.1. I thought we were going to get 4.1 this week, and then they were going to do like a 4.1.2 as a smaller patch, and that was going to be the Invictus patch. So I didn't know this was the Invictus patch, like full on Invictus patch. Or they could, I mean, this is enough to justify a 4.2 for the next patch, but I just don't think they would get a whole patch tested in 2 weeks. That's why I would say 4.1.2 would make more sense. Because like they're saying like, okay, what's not ready for testing or feedback? The Fleet Week events, the new missions, the hauls, the mission meshing refactor, the hack repair animal missions, right? They don't have to do all of that for 4.2. They could just do or 4.1.2. They could do Fleet Week events, new missions and hauls, or just no, they could do Fleet Week events, the hauls, and then like the NPC stuff. And there's stuff redacted. So so are we getting the Idris? Because it feels to me like we're getting the Idris. I'm seeing way too much stuff about the Idris. Literally since the last stream I did, which I think was Wednesday, I have seen like so many things about the Idris that it has made me think that we're getting the Idris. Which with that, I mean, the way they talked about it, we were waiting for the Idris, but now I'm leaning towards us getting it just because I've seen so much about it. 600i rework update. I would not hold my breath for 600i rework update. So here's the thing. They did say this year that they're focusing on getting like stuff in the game working. But like if I don't know if that includes the ship team also working on things that are getting better ships in game working. Like obviously there's a lot of ships that still need, you know, some work done, right? So let's see. What are some ships that need? I mean, the Connies, of course. The old freelancers could use some interior work. Um, oh man, what else? I'm drawing some blanks right now. I know there's some other ones. The Vanguards can use a little bit of an update. The Starfarer, oh my goodness. Man, talk about a ship that needs an update, the Starfarer. But I just don't see them doing the Starfarer anytime soon. But like the 600i is, until they start working more on like what the Explorer role will be, I don't know if we'll get the 600i update. I think that's more of a like, oh, we're working on exploration. Let's like kind of focus on this, what this ship will be able to do. But I could be wrong. The 600i is an important ship, I think, though. I think it's one of the, it's a ship that should be in the best Explorer conversation, but because it's so outdated, it's not in that conversation. And I think it should be, because I think the 600i should have a role. You know, I don't think it'll be better than like the Odyssey or the Carrack, but I definitely think it should be in the running, you know? What's up, Hollywood Hogan? I've been well. Idris got a small nerf along with Polaris, pitch on roll, which was nerf 2. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they definitely need to they definitely need to balance it. I think that was a big blow to like my excitement for the Polaris. Was like there's just this massive gap between the Polaris and the Idris, and it was, I don't think it was meant to be this massive gap. I think there was supposed to be a gap, but just not that big of a gap. Yeah, it was weird how they did the 600i thing, right? Like they like talked about it, and they even showed us like pictures of like what it was gonna look like, and then it just disappeared. But like I also think that that was a reason for that. So I think around the time the 600i rework was like talked about, I think that was like nearing the end of like an era, because I think they kind of shifted their focus around that time, and that's why we got last year's CitizenCon where they were trying to tell us what this is what Star Citizen is going to be. Because remember, right around that time, a lot of people were either about to leave the company or had just left the company, or like the following year were leaving. So like I think that's why a lot of things from that specific era didn't go through all the way. Because I believe that was, ooh, if I'm not mistaken, what was that? 2021 was when they announced the rework, the 600i rework. I think it was 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So that was like 4 years ago. Not 4 years. It was close to 4 years ago. And yeah, so there were people leaving. There was a whole lot of like stuff going on. But yeah, there's a lot of ships that still need reworks. The Origin does need a lot of love. Um, they got the G12. Um, they got the G12, which has just been like I'm still baffled at why the G12 is not in the game. At least the base G12, like you don't have to give us like all the other ones, but the base G12 seems like it should have already been in the game. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna get reconcepted. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, That would make sense. All right, so I looked at the notes for everything. To me, it looks like I don't know. It looks good to me. Looks like the next patch is actually going to be pretty solid. I thought it was going to be a small patch, so I wasn't really paying attention to it. But now that I'm looking at those patch notes, I'm like, oh wow, this is a massive patch. Because normally when we get like we get 4.1 and then 4.2, right? Like I would think that 4.2 would have a massive amount of stuff, not 4.1.1. I would think point 1 is just like, oh, this is the stuff that we forgot to add in the last one. I wouldn't think it would be like a massive amount of stuff. I actually never watched Generation Kill. I saw the ads for it and everything. I just never ended up watching it. All right, so I did my ATLS GEO review. If you guys are just joining in, I did my ATLS GEO review. That's probably, oh, it's 8:45. It's just popping up now. So after this, make sure you go check out the ATLS GEO review. It's pretty short. I think it's only like 10 minutes or something like that. And yeah, so then prepare for a lot more videos to be coming out. I have to do some videos that we've talked about in the last few streams where we're going to kind of build some capital ships for every manufacturer. We're gonna take it one video at a time and be like, this is what we should do, or this is what people should do. The merchantmen until post 1.0, I could believe that. I would say the merchantmen, I'd say we got 3 years. I don't expect the merchantman until 2028. 2028 is the earliest I would expect it. But I do expect to hear news about it before 2028. I hope there is a new Banu ship. I'm hoping that we either get a new Banu ship or... Let's see, we got the Raylan and the Sulian. We could do another... Trying to figure out who had the most recent alien ship. I don't know who had the most recent. Was it Asperia? Which one came out first, the Talon or the Sulian? The Sulin. I think Gattac, right? Yeah, Gattac. What's up, Ubo? Yeah, so I think if Gattac had the last one, yeah, Banu. Banu's got to be the one. I don't think anybody's more due for a new ship than Banu. Apoa, the Santa. I mean, we just got the Santa. Yeah, so yeah, it's got to be Banu. Yeah, I think a Banu ship it would have to be bigger than the Defender though. So I would say it would have to have a reason. We'd have to have a reason for it. They could do like a heavy fighter or something, like an alien heavy fighter. But I would hope they do something bigger than that. We still need a... What would it be? What would it be? It could be like a it could just be another explorer. We don't have like a dedicated exploration alien ship, do we? Not an alien one, right? Let's see. We got the Cartual Santak Yai. Nope, nope. Defender and Merchantman. Nope, nope. What else? Blade, Glaive, Prowler, Talon, Talon Strike. Nope. Sulian. That's the closest I think we have is the Sulian. Where's Asperia? Nope, nope. Nothing. Yeah, so we could. Yeah, we don't have a. Yeah, we don't have an explorer ship, and that would definitely. I mean, the merchantman could definitely double as an explorer ship, so it could be like a well gunned, explorer ship. Like, I would think like, so I would think something like the size of the Star Lancer, but alien, and I would think it would have something to the like it would kind of resemble the Star Lancer TAC, except with smaller guns or less guns, because it's not a gunship, it's an explorer ship. But I can imagine it having that same kind of loadout as the Star Lancer TAC, where it has like some guns to defend itself, and it has like a medical bay and everything. But its main focus is actually exploration. Yeah, a Banu explorer ship. Boom, there you go. Science would be cool as hell too, because you know what's interesting about Banu, or one of the things they could do with science specifically, and it doesn't have to be Banu, but if it is Banu, like, because science gameplay isn't in, they don't really have to it's not a ship that we would have to get immediately, because we don't necessarily need to get the ship until science gameplay is like more at the forefront of the game. So if they were just going to announce it, and then not have it come soon, then I would say science makes more sense. But the reason I said exploration is because I think if they put that in the game and then they give it like a decent medical bay and some other stuff, like I feel like they could put that in the game quicker. But still, if they announce a new ship during Alien Week, which they haven't done, which is like so weird to me, like maybe they just removed the focus on alien ships, like they completely shifted away from them, which I don't mind. It's not like we've been hurting for alien ships. We got the Sulian, so it's not it's not like they haven't given us anything in like 6 or 7 years. But yeah, I could definitely see a Banu ship in there. Oh, question. I missed the question earlier. Would you rather run a mole or 2 golems and a cargo ship to run the pods back and forth? Are you saying 2 golems and a cargo ship? Because if it's 2 golems and a cargo ship, I'd rather have the 2 golems. If I have 3 people, I'd rather have 3 people in 2 golems and a cargo ship rather than 3 people in a mole. Absolutely. Shout out to the dual streamers, much appreciated. Dual streaming is when you're watching on YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you leave comments on both, at least 4 minutes apart, so I know that you can qualify for our giveaway. I think we're giving away an ATLS GEO. Let's see. What's up, San Chimera? Yeah, so we were just talking about a new potential Banu ship potentially being like a Star Lancer sized explorer ship or science ship. A cargo hauler would work as well. We also need a few more vehicles. Like I'm looking at the vehicle list right now. We still need some more vehicles. I get it that we have like we're getting the mechs now, so I'm all down for the mechs too. Like keep sending out mechs, but I also think we need some more vehicles. Like we don't have to like get new vehicles. Like we could just release the ones that are there. The Ranger, the G12, the CSV FM. What else? Yeah, I think that's those three would be huge. Yeah, because those three alone would add a lot of different gameplay to vehicles. But I think they're focused on mechs right now, so. If you are just joining, we did drop our Atlas GEO video, so go check that out. It's about 10 minutes long. That's our Atlas GEO review. So you guys should go right after this video, after this stream, and go check that out. So another thing that I wanted to talk about here is how are people feeling about Invictus? Is this one of the more like the is this one of the Invictus that you're looking forward to the most? Like, or is this like, because to me, so I typically look forward to Invictus because it's the second largest event of the year, as far as like in-game events. So like, to me, I'm always looking forward to it, but I don't think last year I was looking forward to it as heavily. I think I'm seriously looking forward to it this year, and I think there was like maybe it was 2022 or 2023 that I was looking forward to it about this much, but I think this one is a big one for me. So how are you guys feeling? Are you looking forward to it as much? What's up, Citizen Ninja? Have I seen the mech at Wickaloo's? Yes. Yes, I have. I have seen that mech. I don't think that's what we're getting, though. I think that was kind of like a teaser. They wanted to feel people out and see what they would think of it. Yeah. If we could actually pull that up because it's not like a leak or anything anymore. When I saw it, it was just a leak. Here, I think there's like there's a good picture of it somewhere. No, that's not it. That's good enough. All right. So this is what we're talking about. If you haven't seen it. Well, this is some of it. Looks like it's got like some size 1 weapons it's holding. This is the only, I don't want to look too long for a weapon. But I see how this like could be what we get. I just hope this isn't what we get because I feel like they could do a little bit more with this. Because if it can shoot, I would want it to be able to jump and shoot. But I also don't want them to, fall victim to like copyright or anything from Titanfall. So gotta be careful with that. Yeah, I think pretty much every sale I'm looking for CCUs. So like But at the same time, I am getting to the point where CCUs aren't even going to be that big of a deal for me anymore. Like I have most of the ships that I want. The only thing, like for me, CCUs are about getting a better deal, right? And like I have like connected every single CCU to a great deal CCU. And I've saved enough money to where I don't particularly care about starting all the way over just to save an extra $10 or $20. So I'm pretty much at that point where CCUs aren't. I A, have all the ships I want. B, I have almost every CCU I want. So there's not a whole lot more for me to do with CCUs. And yeah, I like if I want a new ship, that's the only thing. If a new ship comes out, trying to figure out which ship I can get rid of, which ship I can change it out for, and then that'll restart the CCU thing, of course. But for the most part, yeah, CCUs don't excite me as much as they used to, unless they're like massive, you know, like if it's a $50 CCU for $10 or something like that. Those are the ones that excite me. Outside of that, I'm just like, ah. That Prospector and Harbinger CCU, yep, everybody needs those. Everybody needs those. Two parts to Invictus: the military ships, non-Drake, and the Drake Con. I'm curious what might happen on the Drake side, and I think the Anvil Asgard might be a new concept sale. Man, whew, I guess I should get my video out on what I think the Anvil Asgard should be versus what it will be. So when I do that video, let's see. I'll see if I have time to do it tomorrow. I would really like to get it out tomorrow. But yeah, I want to do this video so we can kind of talk about this idea I had. I don't think it will be that. What I want it to be, I'll talk about. But like, I'm like almost certain it won't be that. What's up, Perillium Cuban? What's up? Carrick to Carrick. Are you talking about Carrick Expedition? What's up, Gasoline Moth? Thank you for subscribing with Prime. If you didn't know, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription that you can use on Twitch. You can just Google how to do that, and then you can come back and you can subscribe over here. What's up, Space Marine? So thank you, Gasoline Moth, for using your subscription here, because you can use it anywhere. Let's see. Do you think it's a prototype or an improvised combat mech? I think it's a prototype. I think, so CIG is aware of what we talk about on Reddit, what we talk about on these videos and stuff like that. Maybe not like everybody's videos. Like, I'm not saying they're always listening to me or anything, but like they definitely are listening to the comments and stuff. So what I think is, I think the suit is like, okay, let's put something out there. Let's see what they feel about it. Like, what are people saying about it? Are the guns too small? Are they too big? Do they like the camo? Do they not like the camo? Like, you know, this is like a feeler. That's what it feels like to me. Because I really hope they get these jump jets from the GEO, because the jump jets make this way more fun. Maybe they don't have to jump as high. You know, maybe they can only jump 30 feet rather than, you know, 50 or something, and make you have to work a little harder. But yeah, I would also hope that if it's combat like this, that it has a rocket launcher. Like, I want it to have a gun and a rocket launcher, or at least something you can swap out, to where you can either have two guns, or gun and rocket launcher, or gun and grenade launcher, or whatever, right? Because you have to have more than just guns. Yeah, being able to swap the guns out on that thing is a must. If it has dedicated guns, then you should at least be able to switch out the ammunition in some weird way or something. But I hope you can swap out the guns. That would be really cool. But I do think that that one is a prototype. You prefer Invictus over IAE? Actually, you know what? I think a lot of people do. I don't think you're in the minority on that. I think IAE gets all the hype. I think IAE gets all the hype because it's generally like the largest ships come out at IAE, or like the biggest reveals happen at IAE. So I get what you're saying. Like it does get more hype, but yeah, there's people who prefer. I think I'm still a IAE guy just because of the time of the year. So like the summer is great, but like I generally am in a money spending mood around like Thanksgiving / Christmas time. So like I generally have more money saved up around that time. So I think for me it's the time of the year that makes me prefer IAE. But yeah, I definitely get why people would prefer Invictus. Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely could just be like a historical mech, that like an old model as well. Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Pyrel? You finally caught one. Yeah. Boarding grapples. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you could like change out certain things, you could make this thing really cool. Is that even lease? What's up, even lease? What's up, man? I watch your video. We I think we actually start, if this is even least from YouTube fame. Uh, I think we started in YouTube together, my friend, and I'm so glad to see you like blowing up. Uh, very happy to see you blowing up. I watched your video. I started doing videos around the same time I think as you, and like just watching you blow up, I'm like, yes, I need to do more of whatever he's doing because it's great. But yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for checking the channel out. Hope your son's doing well. What'd you say here? On the topic of combat mech, gun on each arm, rocket mortar pack on the back, advanced exo legs, full speed sprinting. Yes, all of these things. All of these things. Yeah, I could see them doing a lot of different variants about that. A lot of different variants about that. Like, I think one of the things when we talk about like the games where you can get a mech, most of them, it's the combat loadout part is one of the funnest things you do with a mech, is like being able to say, oh, I'm gonna take this gun off and I'm gonna put this other gun on, or I'm gonna take these rockets off, or maybe these rockets are like, the ones that are shrapnel, or maybe these ones are more like slugs, or there's just so many possibilities, and allowing us to do what we want to the combat mech, I think, changes the entire way that we look at mechs. It's going to change the entire way we look at combat. Definitely going to change the way we look at combat. Because I can imagine people being like, I'm not even getting in a vehicle. I'm getting in a mech, and we're going to like orbital drop this thing, and like we're just going to drop right on top of the on top of the base and just start blowing stuff up. I can also see these being used as like, people drop a whole bunch of these on top of a base, assuming you don't get shot out of the sky, right? And then these are used to like take out the those large guns, like the anti-air guns, and then you come in with your ships and stuff like that. So yeah, there's so many opportunities there, so many. con of a mech would be the power systems preventing them from being used for hours without having to leave the suit and replace battery systems. Yeah, absolutely. You definitely got to balance it out. Make sure it fits in the game. Having those batteries not last very long would be huge. Like, and then you can't bring an extra battery. Maybe if it has a little backpack, maybe you could bring one extra battery, and then maybe that's it. And then you just gotta jump out of your mech and then use whatever you have on you. Yeah, I could definitely see that happen. Active optical camouflage. So Pyrel, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's actually something that like I'm gonna talk about in my video tomorrow. So like one of the ideas that I have for what the Asgard could be, not saying what it is it could be like you know, a ship that has like camouflage or something like that. Like it's something that we haven't seen yet, where, you know, you're in space, it can temporarily turn invisible, whether it's invisible as in, you know, yes, invisibility is outlawed per lore. You're correct. It is outlawed. So that's why I mean it wouldn't turn necessarily invisible as in visually invisible, but I do think it can turn invisible to your sensors. So, yeah. It definitely might be able to turn invisible to your sensors. I don't know if that's what we're getting. I have two ideas, so maybe I'll do like two separate videos, like one with the Asgard like being like separate, and then I have one that's like the spider thing that I was talking about before. I think you're talking. Oh, Matthew Ward, I think I know what you're talking about. Was that Oh my goodness, what was the name of that? It was a Tom Cruise movie, wasn't it? It was Live, Die, Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow. That's what it was called. That's what it was called. That movie was awesome, and it deserves a sequel. That movie was awesome. Now those mechs were a little small for what I think we want, but that is definitely, they should take some hints from that. Absolutely. And I think the one that, oh my god, I think Emily Blunt, the one that Emily Blunt had, like she had one with like a gigantic sword on it. Oh my goodness, that would be cool. That would be really cool. So Pyrel, so what you're talking about the outlaw thing. Um, yeah, yeah, I think so the outlaw thing is different, because is the outlaw thing is not necessarily like a ship manufacturer would have to obey the law more than like a pirate, right? So like pirates aren't the ones making the ship. But it could be that you can get the ship and then put a part in it that is outlawed, right? Like that gives it that feature. I think a mech with Gatling guns that you have to reload and have extra ammo for, like take out a box and put in a new one or something. Yeah, that would work. Cuban TV, that definitely would work. Um, like keeping it from having laser weapons, and it can only have, you know, like ballistic ammunition. But yeah, I definitely think that we could get something like invisibility without getting invisibility, so to speak. Like we have stealth ships, right? And stealth ships lower your signature, but we could have something that makes you completely invisible to radar. Invisible to radar, but not invisible optically. Like, so people would still be able to see you, but it's space, right? So if you're 4,000 meters away and I don't have anything that shows you, that like highlights your ship, then I just don't see your ship. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, with mechs, it definitely has to be short battery time, or it has to be a lot of reloading that has to happen, or it has to be, not a lot of ammunition. It has to be slow, like whatever. There has to be some balancing done there so that it's not just like, it should definitely be a oh crap moment. If you see a mech, it should be an oh crap moment, like, oh, I can't just like run up on a mech and expect to win. But it shouldn't be like a automatic death. It should be like a I have to be tactical about it type of thing. Oh yeah, no worries, Even Lease. Anytime, come through. Absolutely, absolutely, come through. Anytime. We're just talking over here anyway, so it's always good. Always good to see other YouTubers popping up, and saying what's up. If I catch you streaming, I'll hop over on yours as well. Oh yes, mech brackets. Oh man, that would be really cool. What's up, Gecko? Yeah, I would like if we can get brackets that can just drop these things. You know what ship makes the most sense for that? The raft. Imagine a raft variant, or just the raft in general, where it just has, instead of all the cargo container things, um it just has a bunch of like mech holding things instead, and it just drops a bunch of mechs down, and it's like a different version of a dropship, but it literally drops people out, like it drops the mechs out. You could call it a mech dropship. It'd be a whole new version. Yeah, Team Chaos. Yeah, see? Right there. See, CIG, I just sold the ship. Scorched Cheddar said if we could use the raft to haul mechs or vehicles or even snubs, I'd buy one. Boom. I'm selling your ship, CIG. It's all good. CIG sometimes gives me ships to give away, so this is okay. It's okay. That's why, like, I have a lot of these ideas. I'm seeing a lot of good ideas in these chats. That's why I know CIG has to be lurking in a few different places. They have to be. Yeah, active camo doesn't have to be invisible. It could just be blurring. Absolutely. Thanks for pointing that out, Pyro. That is a great point. CIG is always watching. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. They look at my account and say the same thing. I'm sure CIG knows who their whales are. They know who their whales are. The elevator on the Drake Corsair. Do you ever think about having two players up there with railguns to shoot at fighters? Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think everybody should consider that. I think everybody should consider a person that's just like standing outside the ship. I mean, so it has to be slower ships. Like Corsair might be a little too fast for it. But you could do it on a Corsair as long as your pilot knows that you're doing it. But like, I would say the larger the ship, the better for that. Like having people like stand outside. Like think 890 jump, where people are putting, the tonk or multiple tonks outside to add like size 5 weapons to that thing. So I mean, it's whatever you can think of, whatever you can dream of. Skydive from a dropship and land safely. I don't. I would bet money that that is coming to the game eventually. That you will be able to skydive from a dropship and land safely, because it just makes sense. I don't know if it'll require a mech to do it, or if it'll be like something where you get you know, floating boots or something, like boots that like, you know, slow down your landing. But that would be really cool. Like I can imagine like a full-on dedicated spelunker suit that like has like claws that allow you to climb and like the ability to jump higher or slow down your descent so that you can fall from greater heights. Yeah, even least, yeah, definitely dual streaming. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. $10 from Evenlease, yo. Hey, folks, if you don't watch Evenlease, go check out Evenlease. Like, I do ship reviews. We do ship reviews differently, but I love that it's different. I love that you can go and you can look at. So like, you got Ferrister, you got a lot of people that do ship reviews, but like, if you look at the way that we all do ship reviews, we all do them differently. And it's really, really cool to just have different voices on the same ship. So, yeah, it's like I think mine is more like technical and like I'm just like worried about every little thing and I maybe worry about it too much. Even Lease has like excellent graphics and he always has like in-game stuff that's really cool. So definitely go check out Even Lease. And Even Lease is an avocado. So Even Lease gets stuff first. I am not an avocado. So definitely if you like to get things like as soon as they come out. Let's see. Star Citizen needs magnetic boots. Ooh. I think did they not mention that? They might have mentioned that. I might have missed it. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Huh. I thought I thought they mentioned magnetic boots as something. Maybe it's not magnetic boots, but I know I thought it had something to do with EVA. But I could be wrong. Oh, avocado is Evocati. My bad. Evocati, folks. I thought everybody knew that joke. My bad. It's Evocati. It sounds like avocado, so we just call it avocado as a joke. Yes. So GEOs can do it. So that's what I mean. It's the tech is already there. So like GEOs, if you jump out of your GEO, you can't do it from like I don't know what the highest height you can do it from is. Maybe that's a cool thing that somebody can do to test it is like see how high you can jump out of a ship with your GEO and land safely. But yeah, I've seen it and I've done it. I just haven't done it from a very high height. So I've done it from like I'd say maybe 1,000 feet up. That's as high as I've done it personally, but I've seen other people on videos do it where you jump and then you can like kind of slow down your landing with the GEO. I bet a Mirai Pulse. They make a jetpack that attaches where the backpack on your armor goes to allow you to drop in. That way you don't need atmosphere. Okay. Yeah, that would work. I mean, we already have the backpack tech, so just add the. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, I don't want to say that anything with coding is simple, but like it seems like from the outside looking in, it would be fairly simple to take the tech from the mech and then put that into a backpack and give it a similar thing where it slows you down as you descent. It seems like it would be simple. I don't know if it is, but it seems like it would be. What is an avocado other than a fruit? I love it. So, the mech thing, really cool. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I saw something else on Reddit that I thought was interesting. Oh, also, if you have questions, put question in front of your question so that I know that you have a question. I try not to miss anybody's questions and answer all of them. Uh, I don't have Oblivion remastered, by the way, but somebody asked me about that last stream. I don't have Oblivion remastered, but and I would say I'm gonna buy it soon, but I'm not because I have a massive backlog. I'm trying to make it through like so many games right now. I'm trying to make it. I still haven't beat Baldur's Gate 3. I am making it through Ragnarok right now. And I haven't played it in like a month, so I need to get back on that. I was supposed to start Ghosts of Tsushima, didn't even start it yet. And then I have Fire Emblem on Nintendo Switch that I'm trying to go through. Man, I have so many games that I have not yet made it through. Red Dead Redemption 2, still haven't beat that. That thing came out in like 2012 or something. It was after 2013. Wasn't it? RDR2. I think it came out 2013 or 2014. It was something like that. 10 years ago. Still haven't beat it. So I have a massive backlog. By the time I'm ready for Oblivion, to replay Oblivion, mind you, because I beat Oblivion, when it came out originally on Xbox, or was it 360? It might have been 360 for Oblivion. I'm not sure. It might have been 360 for Oblivion. I don't know. I had an Xbox for a very long time. I do remember playing Morrowind on Xbox, original Xbox, OG Xbox. What did I see? Oh, it was the sneak peek. That's what it was. Oh wait, was this the sneak peek? Um. Oh, wow, that was cool. Um. Yeah, I think that was it. I don't see anything else in here. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about this real quick. Oh, let me make it bigger for folks so you're not like squinting. There we go. All right. What do we think this is? What do we think this is right here? It looks like the top of a ship to me, and it looks like the top of a ship that is a fighter. I don't know what did Reddit say about it. I don't actually know what Reddit said about it. Hold on, let me see real quick. I don't know what Reddit was saying about it, so let me see what they were saying. People were saying it could be the turret track for the Paladin. Um, I guess I can see that. It definitely could be the turret track for the Paladin. What else? Did anybody else say anything that made me think it was cool? No. I don't see anybody else saying anything that makes me think they got it right. All right, let me put it back up. All right, so we got this one, and people are saying it looks like this area here. Maybe it's just the Paladin's track here. You tell me. Tell me what you think. I don't think it's the Kruger, because I think the Kruger was very... They showed us a preview of the Kruger, and it was very streamlined. Like, this looks like it has a lot of, like, rougher edges, whereas the... I don't know if you remember the spaceships on Naboo from Star Wars, from the prequels, but that's kind of what the Kruger ships look like. They're very, like, smooth. And this looks like it's more rough. You said we need a multiverse gaming world. A certain amount of grind carries over into similar themed games, cutting down on time lost to repeated grinding. That would be really cool. At least from the same manufacturers. Wouldn't it be cool if, like, okay, so you beat, you know, the first game. So, like, you get to start this game with, like, a bonus if you want. It's not mandatory. But, like, if you want to start this game with a bonus, you can. I think that would be pretty cool. I definitely think it's the... I think the best I've heard is the Reddit comment was the Paladin track, but I definitely think it could be something else. But the only thing I could think of is it's like the top of something, because it looks like the track for something, but it could also be just the top of something. It could be the top of like some. It looks fightery to me. It looks like it's ready to shoot at something. All right, seems like we kind of agree. Oh, you said Paladin top turret has a quad turret that doesn't look like a quad. I almost see white with red pinstripes. Oh, you're right. It is a quad. You're right. It is a quad. But this would be the empty track though. Let's see. Let's look at it again. Let's look at the. Yeah, it looks different. This looks like it has like little. You see how it has little like indents here and here? Like it looks like it could be different. Yeah, it's not the top of the Paladin. It would have to be the bottom if anything. But I would guess that it would look the same. And also the front of the ship looks different. Look at the front here. Look at the front of the ship. Like if you look over here and over here, and then with this one, if you look at the front of the ship, I mean, I suppose it could be facing the other way. It could be looking backwards, like looking at this part and this part. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like it's something else. You know what else it could be? You know what? Hold on. I think I know what else it could be too. But let me check it out. I think it could be. And well, this might be wishful thinking though. So okay, all right. Now hear me out. Hear me out. It could be the top of this. What do you think? That would explain the kind of white that you see. You see like the white in the front, like this white up here. It could be like the Vulcan. That's the only thing I could think of. And then like this isn't, and this area, obviously this is like a 3D model. This isn't the actual Vulcan, but like I can imagine it being like the top of the Vulcan too. Especially with that gun up top. If you look real close to the top of the Vulcan. Well, not this one. Yeah, that's the. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about though. I thought it was. You think it could be Crusader, huh? It could be. Crusader. I think I saw somebody said it could be like an M1 Spirit. Like they're doing like a military variant of the Spirit. They've done a lot of ships though from Crusader and RSI though. I'm gonna keep hope alive that it's the Vulcan. I think you guys are making some good points though that it's not. I think my hope is that it's a Vulcan though, because I really want the Vulcan. The Vulcan is gonna be my daily driver, so that's probably why I'm hoping so much. Long cylindrical engines. It could be. Oh man. Mirai has long cylindrical engines. Drake has those. The thing about MISC, though, I think they have a rule about not having any right angles. If I'm not mistaken, a design rule for MISC is that they can't have any right angles. So I don't think it's MISC just based off the fact that you can see multiple right angles in this alone. Anvil? I suppose it could be Anvil. I don't. What makes you think it's Anvil though? The circular front, you say, the circular front. We don't know if we're looking at the front though. We could be looking at the back. The center white hump. That right there is common on Crusader. Okay. This thing is a medium fighter to compete with the F7 Hurricane. I could dig that. I could dig that. I actually need a two-seater fighter, so whatever it is, I'm hoping it's two-seater, because I need a two-seater, because that Super Hornet Mark II didn't scratch the itch for me, and I still have it in my fleet. Yeah, I can imagine that. I would probably say we just got a heavy fighter, so medium fighter does seem more likely. But we also don't have a lot of two-seater heavy fighters. So we got three of them, but I think I need a fourth one. two-seater Ares design, but a little smaller with the top turret. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I could go for that, for sure. So yeah, we got the Scorpius, the Hurricane, and the Super Hornet, right? Yeah, I think I either need a variant of the Scorpius, because I like both variants of the Scorpius. I don't like them enough. It's the same thing with the Super Hornet Mark II. I don't like it enough. Like I need something just a little bit more my taste. I don't know what I expect though. Oh, we also got the Vanguards, right? We also got the Vanguards. Oh yeah, Manny's just saying that the Vanguards. We got the Vanguards as well, right? And that's what I'm leaning towards right now. Actually, I'm actually leaning towards just getting a Vanguard Harbinger or Vanguard Warden. I actually like pretty much all. I like most of the Vanguards. The only one I don't like is the Hoplite. But the Sentinel, I could get a Sentinel as well. I could see myself with a Sentinel. I just don't need a Sentinel, so I would just kind of be forcing that into my fleet. Yeah. All right. I think we've speculated on the picture enough. But I thought that was pretty cool. I was looking at it and I was like, there's things that I hope it is, but then there's things that it most likely is. And I think it most likely is another fighter. But what I hope it is a Vulcan. It could be a tractor beam turret though, Perillium. It very much so could be a tractor beam turret. I think for me, I want, so the E1 Spirit, wait, let's take a look at the E1 Spirit. Hold on, I haven't looked at that thing in a while. I actually wanted to buy one, but I don't need one. So this is another thing where I'm like, don't buy things you don't need. I have way too many ships already to be buying ships I don't need. Oh no, I don't know about the top of the E1 Spirit looks kind of sleek. It looks kind of sleek. It looks like a lot less rough. But man, I saw that and I was like, oh man, I love to like go through and look at the guesses that people have on the sneak peek and see what I can come up with. Yeah, I think so. I have like I did my fleet video a while back, so I don't want to like keep talking about my fleet. But I like the ships that I have right now. I think I have a lot of ships that can be changed into other ships, and I think there's only like a few ships that could like make me buy a new ship. Medium Crusader fighter. Yeah, yeah. Medium Crusader fighter. I like it. I like it. Vanguard Warden was the first standalone ship I ever pledged. Flew it forever, loved it. Now it just is not what it used to be. Yeah, and I think that's kind of my thing. It's like I don't. All the ships that I liked when I was building my fleet, as I got to those ships and I could afford those ships, and then they started to get into my fleet, I started to look at them like, like they're not bad, but they're not great. And I think with the longer we play the game, of course, the more balanced the game is going to be. But yeah, I think I'm just excited. I think that's why I think this Invictus is gonna. All right, see you later, Even Lease. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Yeah, so I think the further we, the closer we get to Invictus, the more we're gonna start seeing it. I know that the Info Runners dropped a video today, or they actually did a live today, and so they probably talked about it as well. They probably talked about what it is. All right, we got like 25 more minutes left in the stream, folks. We haven't done a whole lot of questions, so let's take some time. Drop some questions, whatever questions you have for me, whatever questions you have about the game in general, whatever. Just drop what you can. Drop whatever you want to talk about. My Atlas GEO video will be out right after. Well, it's actually already out, so just go and check that out as soon as you're done here. What do we got over here? I saw there was something else that I saw people talking about. I don't know if it was on Reddit though, but I saw some other people talking. What the heck was it? I know people were talking about the 890 jump and Reclaimer getting the flight tuning thing. Oh yeah, so there's a thing happening, right? Where so now that these like now that we're getting the Polaris and we're getting like the larger ships in game, there's like a thing happening where people are like, I guess ship shaming, which is very weird, right? Like somebody is like, oh, that's just a Connie, or that's just one of the and like I hope that doesn't become a thing. I hope we don't like. I hope as a community we rebuke the ship shaming idea, right? Like that's not cool. Like if that's what it turns into, like I'll just drop. I'll like sell all my stuff and then just go and like earn everything, because that would like kill it for me. Like ship collecting is fun because we all like just like, you know, shiny JPEGs, right? But like I don't want it to become like an elitist thing where it's like if you don't have a certain ship then you don't get something, right? Yeah, I don't want that to be the thing. So yeah, let's not do that. I don't want that to be it. I want it to be like everybody owns what they own, and like, you know, everybody makes it their own, right? Like everybody, you know, they change the skin on it, they change the guns on it. Maybe they have a cool name for their ship or whatever. Like, let's not get into ship shaming. Let's see. Do you think that modules are dead? I definitely do not think modules are dead. I think modules are something that we'll get another like major look at. So I think the Retaliator, when they did the Retaliator, they took a serious look at modules and they were like, okay, this is what we're gonna need to do with modules. To some degree, like that helped them further the thought process on modules. And I think we're still gonna get them. I think they're trying to figure out how to do it and balance, because as soon as you have the ability to change a ship that has had all of this balancing done and make it do this drastically different thing, I think that's why it's taking so long for us to get modules. So like the Carrack with the ability to like, I don't know, I'm trying to think like if the Carrack had like a garage in the front or something, or like it's gonna drastically change the amount of Carracks that people use in the verse. So it's gonna, you know, shift things towards people, towards the verse being more Carrack heavy. So there's like a lot of consideration for, you know, what gets added in there. Hold on. My wife is calling me, so this will be fun to do on stream. Hello, my lovely wife.
Hi, babe. How's it going?
It's going well. I am streaming currently.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I am. So this is my first ever phone call on stream.
Sorry, babe. I thought you finished streaming because I saw the video went.
Nope, I got 15 minutes.
Okay, well, have fun. I just wanted to let you know I just left DZ. I'm on my way to go pick up our son, okay?
Okay.
I love you. I'll see you
All
later.
right. Love you.
Love you too. Ciao.
Folks, if you know anything about being married, you answer that phone, especially when you're alive. You answer that phone. What were we talking about? Oh, modules. Yeah, so the balancing of the game, you definitely, you don't want people to only use the ships with the modules. So you have to like slowly add them in, or you have to make sure that there's so many different types of ship that can do that one thing, that we don't, fall into like, oh, well, um, let's all, use one type of ship, because you know what happens every time a ship is released, right? You see 3 million of that ship in the game, right? And it's going to be the same thing with modules. As soon as the modules are released, everybody's going to be like, let me get that ship and use that one with this module. So they have to be careful about how they do that, and I think that's what's taking it so long, because there's a lot of balancing that I think comes with that. But no, I do not think modules are dead. I just think it's very technically intensive, and I think we have to wait for the more technically intensive things. Yeah, it is really cool. Thanks for talking about that, Blue Four. One of the coolest things is when people find their favorite ship, and like it happens in front of you. When people are like, "Oh my God, that is the most amazing ship!" Like so, yeah, we should definitely keep that positivity going around ships. Like we don't want people to be like, well, it's just this ship, right? If people love a ship, whatever, however much it costs or whatever, we should always like hype that up. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have to like we don't ever give our opinions or anything, right? Like we always are going to give our opinions. We're going to let people know like, hey, there are ships that can do more of this and more of that, but we shouldn't be like that ship you're in is crappy. But yeah, toxic players will always be a thing, like you said. Yeah, got to surround yourself with the least toxic people. Even if I do have a very comfy couch and a lot of TV shows and video games to catch up on, but no, my bed, I don't know if you guys know this. In Purple, you can sponsor me if you want. I don't care if you sponsor me. I have a purple bed. Oh my goodness, it is the greatest purchase I have ever made outside of my wedding ring. But yeah, that I have a purple mattress. Man, I am telling you, man, that thing is like sleeping on air. It is incredible. So if you don't have a purple mattress, go get one. Even with the duct tape jokes, my Cuddy Black was the first cargo boat. Man, I still love the Cuddy. I don't even own a Cuddy anymore. But that was one of my first. That was one of the first ships that I got in, and I was like, "This is amazing." So yeah, absolutely. We got to keep the love for all the ships going. All right, we should. What else we got? Some Drake hate going on in the comments. There was something else I wanted to talk about though before we hopped off of here. We still got a few minutes. We still got a few minutes. Still got like 15 minutes. I think it's gonna do another ad break before we hop off. So drop those questions. Drop those questions. I'm gonna try to find what I wanted to talk about before we hop off of here. So get all of those questions in before we end the stream. We're doing 2 hours, so we got like 15 minutes. Um, man, the graphics of this game sometimes, it like really freaks me out sometimes because I'm gonna show you guys a picture, and I thought this was actually from CitizenCon until I realized that it was like the game. I thought this was from the previous CitizenCon. But hold on, I'm still looking for the thing that I wanted to talk about. Ah, okay. Now I remember what it is. But check this out before we talk about it. All right. Check this out. This is I'm gonna make it bigger. Okay. Check this out. I thought this was a picture from CitizenCon. I thought this was the ship that they had on the show floor. And then I start looking behind it and I'm like, no, that thing is I mean, obviously the longer you look at it, the more you can tell that it's from the game. But like at first glance, when you first look at it, I thought this was from CitizenCon. And then you look behind it and you can tell that it's in a hangar and you're like, oh wait, okay, that's obviously like an in-game shot. But yeah. The graphics sometimes on this is like really cool. Oh, but the thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so I'll wait till the ads end. But let me see what else you guys are talking about on here. But yeah, there's definitely something I wanted to talk about before we hop off of this stream. What are you guys saying? Zeus for daily. I did talk about the Asgard, but not that much. I'm gonna have a video about the Asgard tomorrow or the next day, one of those 2 days. Yeah, I think most of us actually like Drake. I think I have 3 Drake ships in my fleet, 3 or 4. So I'm definitely a fan of Drake. It's just you got to make the joke. Yeah, like you said. Favorite ship is the Phoenix. You know, we're Phoenix lovers over here. You know what's crazy? I got rid of my Phoenix. I got rid of my Phoenix because I thought like there was the whole thing about adding LTI to the Phoenix, and I tried to do it and I messed something up, and I have the Phoenix in a pack, so I was like, oh, I gotta like get rid of the whole pack because I messed up trying to do the upgrade thing where you can like add LTI to it, and so I got rid of it. Man, that was it was a bad time. It was a bad time, really bad time. But yeah, I got rid of my Phoenix because it was in a pack, and I tried to do the upgrade thing, and I messed it up, and so I got rid of the pack, and I was like, I guess I'll just have to like repurchase it with like 6-month insurance again or whatever. And then somebody from the community gave me the upgrade and showed me how to do it. And so I was able to repurchase it for my buyback for like however much it was. I think it was like 400 something. And then like when I repurchased it, I repurchased it and then added it and it worked right. And now I have my Phoenix forever. And I am so grateful because, man, there's only a few ships that I actually like legitimately care about having LTI on. Otherwise, it's just a nice to have. All right, so ads are done. So I wanted to talk about whether people think the MSR should be the fastest ship for its size. Do we think the MSR should be the fastest ship for its size? Because I saw somebody talking about it and I was like, it was kind of the promise that that was going to be a fast ship, like a really fast ship. And at a certain point, I think that people bought it because it was the fastest ship. I remember that being one of the selling points for me when I originally bought the MSR, was that it was one of the fastest ships in the game. And now it's not. And so it's like, I guess my first thought is, should it be the fastest ship in the game? No. Like, I don't think it should be the fastest ship in the game. That should go to a racing ship, obviously, right? Should it be the fastest ship for its size? Yes. Unless there's a racing ship that enters that, like, you know, or it gets a racing variant. But I think the MSR, considering the way it was sold, should be either the fastest or like very close to the fastest for its size. Citizen Ninja, you are an Origin fanboy, so I can't take you seriously when you say all Origin ships should be the fastest. Yeah, the MSR definitely needs a lot of other fixes, but I think the MSR, I think the speed is probably the easiest fix of them all, because they already lowered the speed, so all they gotta do is just put it back. Yeah, so it's a data running blockade runner, right? If it gets more firepower, I doubt it gets more speed. So I would prefer it have the speed, and instead of the firepower, I would like it to be tougher. Tougher and faster versus more firepower. Because I don't want to fight in my MSR. I want to be able to get away from people who don't think that I'll be able to get away because of the size of my ship. And then all of a sudden, I'm afterburning and I'm out of there. But I also need my ship to survive, right? And I think a ship that's meant to carry all this expensive data should have some decent defense on it. The Carrack as well. So the Carrack used to be extremely fast as well. I don't think the Carrack needs to be the fastest in its size or class, but it definitely should be like top 5. But the MSR is different because a lot of people bought the MSR because of how fast it was. So that's my 2 cents on it. All right, we got a few more minutes left in the stream, so definitely add your questions in so I can answer them all before we end the stream. Let's see. It's called the Mercury Star Runner, not Mercury Star Shooter. You are correct. It is the runner. It is called the Mercury Star Runner. I think that's more for data running, but I do get what you're saying. I like that. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would definitely be down for them to up the size of the turret on the MSR, because then it's not like, okay, this is all like pilot controlled firepower. It's like if you have an additional person, then it's like they can shoot while you run, and I think that's cool. Like the biggest thing would be backward firepower. Like I'm running away and I don't want these people to catch me, so I'm going to shoot at them to make them break off from their engagement, and I can get away without them being able to just sit behind me and pop shots off, even though I'm going extremely fast. I think Origin having the best handling would make the most sense. They're not muscle cars that go fast in a straight line. I think of them in European sports cars that are still fast but have amazing handling. I like that. I like Origin as having I think when I think Origin, I think high quality, whatever it is. And I think you should be able to tune, and I think this should be true for all ships, right? You should be able to tune them the way that you want, right? Like you should be able to tune any ship to kind of be, you know, a little bit more defensive or have a little bit better handling or a little bit better speed, right? But I think it's like any car as well, like they all have ceilings and floors. And I think you're right in the sense that like Origin has to have its thing. Origin definitely has to have its thing. Because if Origin ends up getting speed, then somebody else is going to have to get handling, or if Origin gets handling, somebody else gets speed. And I think you could kind of do that, but I think it might also be like late stage. So I don't like late stage balancing because I don't know how well they can streamline that now if they haven't already been doing it. But yeah, I think that for me the MSR uh, getting some of that speed back. At the very least, I think we can all agree it needs to be faster. It needs to be faster than it currently is. All right, folks, it is getting to that time. Drop your last questions in here and we will hop off the stream. We're not going to jump over to anybody. We're not going to raid anybody today because A, it's 10 p.m. where I'm at, so there's probably not a whole lot of people to raid anyway. But B, because right after this, everybody here is going to go watch my ATLS GEO review, right? That's what we're all going to watch. It's 10 minutes, so it's not that long. I do like Drake. The Caterpillar is my favorite, and I have an Ironclad Assault. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. What are my ships right now? I haven't looked at my ships in a while. Let's open it up. Let's see how many Drake ships I have. Sort this by manufacturer. I only have 2 Drake ships. I thought I had 3. So I have the Kraken and the Ironclad Assault. So there you have it. I have the most, oddly enough, the one that I like, I have big issues with the way MISC ships look, yet I still happen to have 7 MISC ships. But to be fair, that's because I have 3 Endeavors. I also have like something waiting on the Star Lancer build. So I have 2 Star Lancers, Star Lancer BLD, the Star Lancer TAC, and then I have 3 Endeavors, and then I have a Hull D and an Odyssey. So like, I think that is like the difference there. Origin I only have 2, so you could say that I like Origin as much as I like Drake. I have the 600i and the X1, but to be fair, I also have a G12. So there's that. But I would buy more Origin ships because I don't have an 890 jump, and I would get an 890 jump, but I'm not getting it unless I can have like LTI on it. So I'm not getting one of those unless I can have LTI. And I also would buy a 700 series. I also would consider a 500 series. So yeah, I would consider both of those things. And if they made like something bigger than the 890 jump, I would also consider that. But I actually think, wait, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think RSI, I have more RSI ships than anything because I have 7 different RSI ships. I have 6 Anvil ships, 3 Aegis ships, 3 Crusader ships. Yeah, and the rest is all like 1s and 2s. Yeah, gray market is weird that way, where it's like you might want the ship, but you're like, but if I spend this much money outside the game, then I don't get like the other thing that I want. So to me, it's always about how much money I'm saving if I'm gonna go to the gray market. So like you said, right? Like you getting the free FHC is a big deal, right? So to me, if I'm not saving at least close to $300, it's not worth it if I'm gonna miss out on the FHC by buying this thing outside of the game. So like for me, the only thing I can get now is a 600i because I'm Praetorian. So that's the only thing I can miss out on, and that's $475. I don't think I'm going to save that much money getting anything on the gray market these days, because the only ships you could save that much money on the gray market is if you just bought the credits outright. At the 55% rate or something like that, and then you could probably save that much on like a Polaris, Kraken, like the super large ships. But yeah. All right, that is it for this stream, folks. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you. This has been a really good stream. I love these 2-hour streams. I want to do more of them. I don't know if I'll be able to do another one tomorrow, but I definitely will be doing more 2-hour streams. So keep looking forward to those the same way I will. And yeah, I will see you all on the next one. Go check out my Atlas GEO review right after this. See ya, folks.